Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. Happy New Year! As you guys are seeing this, it's New Year's Day. I'm actually filming this on New Year's Eve. You can see we did some fireworks the other night out here when we had some friends over. Just some testers, if you will, for Freedom Weekend. We're actually going over to our friend Will and Jen's house tonight. They're really into doing the fireworks. I'm just not a big fireworks person. I just never have been. I don't know. Maybe that's weird. It's just never been my jam. But we had a bunch of our neighbors were hunting this morning. It was real cold this morning, and the deer were on the move, I think. And Mike actually went on a little jog before we went to church because he spotted one out the window, and he took off running right before we went to church. But they ended up, instead of coming back onto our property from our neighbor's property, they kind of went into the woods a bit, so he wasn't able to get a shot at him. But he's going to go out hunting tonight before we go to our friend's house and see if he can't catch a deer. And Frankie is planning on napping. She's doing some of her chores real quick. But she was in the lock-in for church last night, and so they basically stayed up all night. So she hasn't slept. So she's tired. So she's going to probably be napping for most of this afternoon until it's time to go. And I don't think she wants to hunt tonight because she's whooped. But they had a blast. They got to go to church in their PJs and sweats and everything because they spent the night in the Family Life Center. So they had a great time. I did not chaperone that event because that is staying up all night, is just not my jam anymore. And I'm not afraid to say it. There was a time in my life where I could pull an all-nighter with no problems. That time in my life has passed. And, now I'm like, man, it's 8 o'clock. It's time to go lay down. But, that's not, I stay up a little later than that sometimes, but I don't know. I like to go to bed. I don't want to be up till midnight. You know what I mean? Like, and ringing the new year anymore. It's just not my jam, I guess. And when I was younger, some of you guys may remember Mike and I talking about, he was a musician, and I bartended and I taught dance lessons at the bar. And so, New Year's Eve for us was never a fun night because it was a work night. Didn't matter what day of the week New Year's fell on, that was always a big bar night. And so we had to work. And he made more money that night playing, and I usually made better tips that night, but it was always a madhouse. And it was, we didn't get to kiss at midnight. We were lucky if maybe we got to kind of teeter back and forth on the dance floor while he was singing Old Lang Syne, after the toast. But yeah, just kind of New Year's, just, I don't know. I think after you work nights like that for so many years, it's just not something you're particularly into anymore. But it is always, a new year brings new challenges and new excitements and new changes, and it's always a good time to kind of evaluate and reflect a little bit on where everything is at and where you want it to be by the following year, or set yourself some goals. I'm not necessarily talking about resolutions. I don't know if y'all can hear. Bunko is just following me and meowing up a storm. Look at him. He is the funniest boy in the whole wide world. He's just rolling around in the straw now. But man, it's been cold. The last few days I've had I keep the heater in the upstairs set at like 63, so it has to get pretty cold upstairs before the heater kicks on. A couple reasons for this. I don't like to sleep with the heater on because I will wake up with really bad headaches and really dried out, and I just don't enjoy it. And I'm usually fine. I dress warm before I go to bed, and I have my blankets and everything, so it's not like I don't need it to be piping hot, I guess. Um, and compared to our old house, this one stays a lot warmer when it's cold out. Our old house, the back of the house where the bedroom was, it would get cold because it was really far away from our heat source, which was the wood burning stove in the living room, which was in the front end of the house. So that heat never really made it all the way back to the bedroom. And are you playing with my skirt? Look at him. You're a silly boy. But I was used to it being really, really cold, I guess, for a long time. So now I'm like, well, I can sleep with it being pretty cold, but once it starts to get into the low 60s, I'm like, I should let the heater kick on. But yeah, I don't generally sleep very well on the nights where it kicks on a lot because I end up getting headaches and whatever. But it's beautiful out, guys. I mean, it's probably what, 60 degrees right now out here. Little breeze coming up. I hope Mike gets a deer tonight. He just hasn't had the time to come out and hunt like he thought he was going to when he took that vacation week, because he was like, I'm gonna put 3 does in the freezer while I'm on vacation. Well, he ended up only getting to hunt like one time during that whole week. And it was like the worst day that week weather wise and everything to go hunt. So I'm hoping that he gets one tonight, because we're kind of woefully behind on that. However, we were moving stuff around in the garage because we have a chest freezer that we had moved with us, and we have not plugged it in since we moved because we hadn't needed to. We had enough room between the stand-up freezer for like the chickens and the other venison we had, and the other chest freezer that was here when we moved in the garage. And then of course the freezer in the house, I don't even count because it's really small in the refrigerator in the house. It's probably like, I don't know, it's probably a standard size, but it's laid out oddly, and I feel like it's a lot smaller. And it doesn't hold very much, I feel like. And then we have another refrigerator in the garage where Mike has like his cured meats hanging right now. And there's a little freezer, regular old school freezer on top of that, but it again doesn't hold a whole lot. So he was kind of reorganizing stuff to make room for more venison, and he was moving the other chest freezer that we had yet to plug into the garage. And he's like, it's broke. It's not turning on, it's not getting cold, it's not making noise, it's not doing nothing. And I'm like, well, that's not good. So he wants to get another freezer. But I think, there's so many things that could be wrong with a freezer. That freezer is not that old. I think it's probably, I don't know, maybe 5 years old at the most. And I feel like I know there's like an appliance repair place that we actually got our garage fridge from for like $200. That I believe they do repairs as well as like sell, like they'll buy old one, whatever. So I'm like, it's worth to see, like if they can look at it and go, hey, it just needs, I don't know what, but have them look at it and see if there's something we can do to fix it versus having to go buy a whole new freezer. Because I was looking online and I'm like, a new freezer that would be the same size is somewhere between $600 to $1,000, and that's just not realistic, I feel like, right now, right after Christmas. And all 3 of us had just gone to the dentist for our checkups, and of course that's never covered on insurance. So all these things that I'm like, it'd be great if we didn't have to buy a new freezer right now and then we could fix it for $100 versus spending $1,000. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed on that one. He's just talking up a storm over here. He cracks me up. Bunk is just a funny little guy. But yeah, we'll have to see. He was really bummed that freezer kind of went kaput. He wasn't happy about it last night, and that happens sometimes. We never checked it after we moved. Not that that would have changed anything, I suppose, but we hadn't had a need to use it, and it's just been sitting, which I know sometimes can be an issue for freezers and refrigerators and things like that. So I don't know, it might just need a little checkup maybe. My goat just sneezed. But I get to go meet our new livestock guardian dog tonight. I have not been able to go to my friend Jen's house, who has the puppies, since the puppies were born. And so we're going over there tonight. So I've seen pictures, but I haven't gotten to see Tashka yet. So I get to go see her today, and I'm excited about that. Just to love on some baby animals is always a good time for me. And Kusi is doing so well. He's such a good boy. Huh? Are you such a good boy? He is. He really is a good dog. He has his little routines in the morning, and Daddy, Mike actually came out here to put him up for dinner, and I don't know what else he was doing out here, but Kusi, he's like, your dog doesn't listen, and I was like, he listens to me just fine. What happened? And I guess normally for me, if I open the gate, he will sit and wait and not try to rush past me. He does not jump on me. I've taught him no jump, and he knows to settle. Like when we come in and out of a pen, he knows he has to be calm. And then there's times where it's like, okay, go play, go run, you know. But he knows that this is how he has to be when I'm interacting with him. He has to just sit. He has to just be good and, you know, chill. And so he's really good about that. But I guess he got excited, and Mike was like, I was calling his name and he wasn't listening, and I was doing this and he wasn't listening, and he just ran right past me and ran around the yard. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you, because when I call him, he comes. When I tell him to sit, he sits. When I tell him to follow me, he follows me. So I don't know what happened there, but I know Daddy said bad things about you. I know. I just want some loves. He's a good boy, and he loves his goaties. They all curl up together at night and sleep together, and he's been a very good dog. He's very smart. I'm curious though, because I haven't seen him interact with anybody else, because I'm the only one that like works with him. So I haven't seen how he responds to other people giving him commands, because I'm never out here when Mike comes out here. The only reason he did the other night was because we were getting home late from being in town. So I don't know. You know, I don't know what he did, but might have to have Mike come and work with him a little bit, you know, kind of under me, to make sure that he gets the point. Like, hey, I also have to listen to him. But like I said, you know, usually when you're training an animal, especially when they're still young like that, they'll listen to the person that's been working with them, but they don't really listen to anybody else. And it's not for them not knowing. It's just they're like, well, you're not the person, you know, you're not my human. So, you know, is what it is. But he's over there yelling, not yelling, he's whining at Bunko. Beulah's over here staring at me from over by the pond. You see Mike's cover crop's doing really well. Bright green. All that stuff that he planted. I'll see if she'll come over. I'm not going to call her, but we'll see. Sometimes if she sees me walk over here. I tried to give Beulah broccoli yesterday. Oh yeah, she's coming over now. She sees me. I don't know if you guys can see her. Oh, she was, and then she stopped. Oh, she's lifted her tail. She cannot, she always has to poop before she comes and sees me. It's funny. And she can't walk, and then she gets distracted halfway. We'll see what she does. No, she's coming. Hi, Beulah. Are you coming over to say hi? Hi, Mama. She'll get distracted on the way here. So I'm not really calling her. I'm just standing here. So she's kind of like, eh. And she also doesn't like to come over as much when I have the selfie stick. I mean, maybe if I put this down, let's see, maybe if I put it down and let her walk over, this doesn't fall. We'll see. We'll see what she do. Hi, baby. Come here. Good girl, Beulah. Good girl. That's a pretty mama. She is a good girl. She's been a lot better about, you know, I don't know, I guess just coming when you call her, listening more, wanting to be with us more. Because she kind of went through this period where she didn't want to be by us, and she didn't want to come when you called her, and now she is. Hi, Mama. Good morning. Good morning. Well, you were rolling around. I can see she's got twigs and leaves all over that that side of her. She does love to roll. Don't eat my skirt, ma'am. I know. She's like, I never see you in a skirt, Mom. I know. But what? Oh, I know. I heard that. I know. I didn't bring you anything. You already had. No, it's too early for your next bucket, ma'am. She loves to pick up her bucket and chuck it out so that I know that it's empty, as if I was not aware. I know. You make everybody very aware when it's empty. I know it. I know it. Sweet girl. But anyway, I'm excited for the new year. I mean, I feel like every year has gotten a little bit better since 2020. I know everybody was really excited for 2020, and then 2020 was such a dumpster fire in so many ways. I'm hoping that 2024 is kind of our redemption for some of that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, you never can tell. Every time we think it might get a little better, sometimes it gets a little worse before it gets better. So we'll see how things go. But I hope everybody had a safe New Year's Eve, has a blessed beginning to your New Year's Day, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your time off if you're still having time off with your kids before they have to go back to school. And as always, guys, safety's all.